Alright, back here in the weather world, and we have yet another new update of the mod, so I'm not sure how that will affect ongoing storms like this one. So I remember last time we were working on trying to get clay for a couple buildings. So let me check the clipboard here. Alright, so what would we want to add to that? Adding some type of animal pen I think would be good. And we need to try and get to the end to get an elytra. So these will be our goals here for the future. So I think what I will do here soon is check out what the nether's looking like. I know I have been there before, but get a better idea of the surroundings and try and find a fortress. Would like to make progress towards actually beating the game and getting elytra soon. Let's get some water here to make some bread, since we are quite low on food right now. Harvest a bit more wheat here too. Get some of the potatoes ready for harvest as well, so we can cook them and that'll make more food. Alright, what's the risk looking like? Alright, nothing too bad. There's a storm developing right on top of us, but I don't think it'll turn into a supercell. But to spawn tornadoes. Okay, let's see if this crafting recipe will work. That is unfortunate. Right, that would probably be the best way to do it, but we are not close to that for create yet. Can do it at least a little bit easier here. We'll have to manually set it up in the inventory's crafting table every time, so it still saves a bit of time here. And once we get all this crafted up and into the furnace, that should be enough food for us to go on a little nether excursion. While waiting for it to smelt up though, probably should go down into the mine and get some more iron. Let's see, can I have it both input and output? Yes. So let's see. Auto eject on. Set. It's in there. Now how do I auto take it from that side? I think I might need to split it and add a hopper into it if I want to do that. So I'll move this up over here out of the way for now. And make a hopper. Okay, I don't have materials for a hopper. Alright, well it'll still output at least. Oh, and it looks like that storm actually might develop a tornado there. Thought I have settings turned down quite a lot, but still getting plenty. And I also want to see what this storm's going to do before I go down then. Because if it spawns a tornado, we are pretty close to being in the path. That's looking a little glitchy, the flashing there. I think it's supposed to be power flashes, but I don't think it's rendering properly or something. Alright, yeah, that one is probably dropping a tornado any minute here. So I seem to have lost my zoom keybind here. Alright, so I guess I'll have to try and fix this. Let's just see if that's it. Alright, I'll just change everything else that has C as the keybind, and that'll work for it. Alright, we still can't zoom. I guess that'll be something to change later, though. So I'll take my spyglass with me again, then. Where is... Yeah, zoom key just seems to be bugged. Could be mod compatibility or something, I don't know. But this may be trying to spawn a tornado over there right now. Go ahead and clean up this setup out here, so that they hopefully wouldn't be picked up by any storms. And take advantage of Optimine to get them up a bit easier. Try changing the zoom keybind to something else, because that is a keybind that is really nice to have. Still not working. Right, that is forming a hook over here, and we are pretty much directly in its path from the looks of it. So I will be staying where I can respond to this. Let me check the block strength of copper chests, because that could be something to quickly upgrade chests to save them. 163, okay, that is still quite a bit higher than normal chests, so I will go ahead and do that. Okay, that seems to be intensifying and heading towards us. Going to go up over here and see if I can get a look at it. If it looks really violent, then I'll try and move stuff down into the basement. Although I don't know how much that would help if it's truly a strong tornado. It definitely appears to be on the ground over there. Alright, I'm going to pause the stream here for a second and update the zoom mod because I do want to see what's going on out there. Right, so we're launching and then hopefully it'll work now. Alright, we are back, hopefully with a functioning zoom mod now. As the spyglass just zooms in too far to really be useful a lot of the time. Definitely want to keep a close eye on the motion of the tornado out there. There we go, that's a lot better. Ace does appear to be heading straight for me as I expected it to. Let me grab the radar, bring it over to the hill with me. Oh yeah, that really is coming straight at me. Alright then, in preparation of this, I will be moving some stuff to the basement. Hopefully this basement is actually strong enough. Because I just watched NATO Power's recent video and I saw his staircase being torn up by the tornadoes. So I'm hoping ours can actually survive it. Actually, this stuff I'm not gonna bother taking. What I will take is this chest. And then some other stuff like the ender pearls. Appears to be trying to stall out, possibly. Still doesn't hurt to have stuff down here. Rather be a bit overly cautious than not. At least it does not look to be as strong as this storm over here. Yeah, because this one's getting blue there. So that's probably 160, 170 mile an hour, maybe? If this one stays right around 100, we should be safe. Might have some minor damage to the wood parts of the building, but nothing that can't pretty easily be rebuilt. Oh, that is a wide one. Yeah, I am not seeing any side-to-side movement at all on this. So it is coming straight for me. Oh, I'll see what's happening to those trees over there. And then that'll decide partly what we do next. Actually, it looks like it may be weakening or possibly slightly moving to the north. So it may miss us, actually. Going to grab the radar and bring it over here so that I can keep an eye on both. It definitely is a lot closer than when we last saw it. Okay, that does seem to be having northward motion now. Which makes me wonder if it's about to rope out, possibly. Alright, since that is no longer heading directly for us, I'm going to go over to the waypoint by the village and see if I can get a better look at the tornado from over there. I think it's about at the midpoint between them, though. Or maybe not. This village may be getting... Oh! It is on this village. Okay. I thought it was a bit closer. See if we can see it out one of these windows. Looks like it's just slightly up over to the north there. Oh, there it is. It no longer appears to be on the ground, but it did just pass directly over this village. Okay, so that gives an idea on the range of the radar then. Because if we bring it back here, we know that about at the border of this block here is around 500 blocks out. So anything within that area here will be something to keep an eye on. Alright. Now I'll go with the initial plan of trying to go to the nether for a bit, since it looks like we're in the clear for now, hopefully. Also shows how large those clouds are when I can see it this far away. Because it really gives the impression of it being a lot closer. Alright, let's see. I've never actually tried to use this speedrunner tactic for finding fortress. Let's see. I don't even exactly know what to look for. Okay, I think I'm probably doing it wrong. I'll just look for it the normal way then. We'll create a waypoint here at the portal though. Make it easier to find our way back. And do not want to die to the ghast over there. Alright, so there's a bastion down over here by the looks of it. And over here. Okay, so 2 bastions. Three. Okay. 3 bastions, but I don't see any fortresses. So that could be an issue. Slowly try to make our way down. And I guess start heading out towards the bastion this way and see if we can spot a fortress on the map by the time we get close. Probably would be a good idea to have more armor by this point. We'll hopefully be fine. If we don't encounter anything, we can't get hurt. Hoglin after us here. And take it out pretty quickly here. Lack of a bow is also going to be a problem. How am I not hitting these? Yeah, I think we're probably going to die here. And, yep. That's something I've noticed is it seems a lot harder to actually hit ghast fireballs back at them in recent versions, it seems. Okay, so let's just grab some bullets and try and run back. Alright, so let's go and try and get our stuff before the storm comes, and then I think I'll just retreat until I get some better gear. Because I pretty clearly do not have the stuff needed to get through the nether right now. We aren't too far, so I'm not worried about making it over there. We could just break a couple netherrack to get into the corpse, since we don't have a pick. Netherrack breaks easily enough by hand. Or not. Oh, we could still break the cobble here. I guess being surrounded by the soulstone here doesn't help. Alright, now let's quickly try and get back, because I noticed there was another possibly tornado spawning supercell heading directly towards our base. And if it doesn't weaken and occlude north, then it probably will actually hit us, because that's likely what happened to the other one. And And whenever a tornado does hit the base for the first time, I'd rather not be away from it. Come on, get up here. And that is way too many ghasts. Please get through the portal. And we're back, just in time for sunset. And that appears to be the rotation there. Let's sleep and then take a look. Oh, double storms. This one we're definitely safe from. This one I'm not as certain about. See if we can take a look at it. Alright, this one seems to be the stronger one, so I'm glad it's the one that's avoiding us. Let me try and change some of the settings and see if I can stop this flashing. Yeah, there's a tornado there. Let's check over here. See, is it something in video settings here, possibly? Could be the dynamic lights here, possibly. Turn that off and see if that helps. And nope. Alright, that one is lifting, so we should be safe then. Okay then, I've never seen a wandering trader spawn right on top of me. Well, now that we should be safe, let's get back down here. And since the dynamic lights don't seem to be causing an issue, I'll just bring them back. See if there's anything else that could be. Let's lower this a bit as well. See if there's anything else to try and change. It could be this, because I think that was at 0 before. Nope. Yeah, I'm not sure what is causing the flashing. I'm guessing probably compatibility with another mod, but I don't know which one. Okay, yeah, this is heading straight for us, but it'll be dead by the time it gets here. I also remembered, since we have the Easy Villagers mod, I should just be able to pick them up and bring them over here. If I can actually find them, because I don't know where they are now. There's this one here. I don't know where the rest have gone. Okay, I'm seeing a couple on the map here. Yeah, there's a decent few around here, it looks like. And you're a nitwit, so I don't really want you. What about you over here? Yep. Alright, so we have 3 baby villagers. Hopefully all of them will be decent. And let's get back to base then. Oh, right, I didn't realize how close we were to that. Yeah, that would make sense that the village was being hit then, when we saw the tornado behind it. However, looking at the map, there doesn't seem to be any tree damage here. Anyway. I'm also just realizing there's another village here. When I passed through here, it was at night, so I didn't see it. And another here. Okay, so I will take one of the beds from this village and go check them for stuff then. Villagers are a pretty fast way to get geared up, so I will be happy to get them. Forget if we raided this tower or not. I think we did, so I'll bypass it. I'm also going to hope one of these villages over here has a waystone. Pretty sure every village is supposed to have one, but I know I've seen villages without them before. Seems like we might have another storm developing. Might have to adjust the config, since the update did change some of the risks. Alright, this is actually a beautiful area in here where this village is. If I hadn't based already, then I'd be tempted to over here. Alright, steal you to add to my collection. See, should be a chest up here with some stuff. Alright, that's not much, but it is something. And a coal block here. There's a second one of these buildings here too, which is interesting seeing two right next to each other. Okay, and this one actually has some pretty nice stuff in it. Okay, and that is rotating. Let's go ahead and activate the waypoint here so we can make a quick escape if we need to. Some books here, that will be nice. And a lectern. Right, still a decent few more buildings here to go ahead and raid. That's a lot of wood casings. Don't know if I'd actually use them though. I could take them regardless, and the coal block is nice. And we actually finally have full armor. That's actually really nice with the extra health there. You see a brewing stand here, I will happily take that. would at least allow us to get poles before going to a fortress. And we might be able to get blaze powder some other way. Okay, crushing scoria. Yeah, we should be able to just get blaze powder that way then, if we'd want to rush to the end. Anything in these houses worth getting? No, but I will take the hay. I think that's pretty much all this village has to offer. I think the storm over here dissipated as well. Or at least the rotation stopped. Oh, let's bring what we have back home. Let's see. Oh, that is beautiful, seeing it towering above here. And yeah, it has devolved into just rain. Let's put the villagers in this chest for now. This stuff can also go in here, for lack of a better place. Seeds up here. As well, and then the wood in here. Alright, that looks pretty good. I wonder if I can use Create to just automatically lift some of my stuff up and down from the basement. Because that would be a cool way to get it to safety when needed, while also keeping it accessible. Because I think it will get tiring pretty quickly to keep cycling stuff in and out like this. I'm going to see if I can turn down the storm spawn rate. I'm gonna try doubling these values and see if that will help. I do need to keep an eye on those there. Oh, got a decent bit of food. And I can get the rest of the bricks smelting too. We do still need iron. I think Easy Villagers has an iron farm here, which would be nice to get just to help. I seem to remember it being really slow, but slow is better than nothing. Alright, this appears to be trying to spawn a tornado directly at us. Which it should be over by the village right now. Okay, they're moving southeast. That's good. That one appears to be the one over by the far village. I'm curious what it's looking like, and the one by the closer village. Alright, and it doesn't help if I don't have the radar on me. Okay, so it seems the wind actually does affect the windmill, because that is going faster than I remember it doing. It could just be me seeing things, but it does appear to be going a bit faster. Smoking, let's go get a lava bucket from over here. Alright, we're gonna dodge the tornadoes, but we're certainly gonna have some strong storms hitting us. Actually, do we have any glass panes in here? We do. So we don't need to craft anymore. And there we go, iron farm. It's looking quite strong. Both of those are. This one definitely looks a lot weaker than the others, but still probably not something to just ignore. Yeah, this one's dying. I do want to get an enchant set up here, but I think the buildings around us will be the most important thing here. So we can't actually build stuff if we don't have a place to put it. Let's see, the slag bricks here would be another alternative. Let's see if there's an easier way to get slag. Alright, smelting in an arc furnace I think is going to be what we do, because that actually does double our ores, and it gives us slag that we can use for building. Still, honestly, quite an expensive block, since that will require a lot of bricks, a lot of ores to make. Let's see, do I have the engineer's handbook? Don't, so I have to craft it. So a book and a lever. Really easy recipe. So, arc furnace, yeah, that is going to be very expensive. Okay, and I know it requires a lot of power too, so that's not going to be something immediate, but that will be a goal here for the near future. For now, though, we do just need some type of building, and I don't want to wait until we'd have enough bricks, so I guess probably just using stone for the time being. We also need to craft up a new axe. Looking at my house here, I'm kind of wishing that I make the brick section a bit wider, but having a small house is fine. Gives us a good excuse to build other buildings around it. And that is pillagers. Okay, so kill these three with sword. And then I need to make sure the captain either dies by another pillager or fire. Not me dying to fire, please. There we go. Excuse the alarm there. Right, that fight went decently enough, I guess. And we have blue skies for the first time in a while. Right, I think I do want to bring this hill down a little bit, but I do still want to keep it raised. So, this section up here, carve around into here, and then probably bring that back a little bit at least. Oh, you can collect rooted dirt without silk touch. That could be one of the mods here, but I seem to remember it needing silk touch. Interesting. I won't complain, because I will happily take some rooted dirt. And it seems we have yet another storm developing. Let's empty what we have here and craft up another couple shovels. So I don't think just one will do it now. Nice, the iron farm is very slowly working, but it is still a steady supply of iron, and that's all that matters. Let's also enchant these shovels, just to get a little bit of efficiency. Alright, it is also getting dark, so I probably want to wait until I can sleep, since that'll just be in a couple seconds here. I do not like taking risks outside with mobs when it's easy enough to just sleep. Oh, I just realized the pillagers dropped a crossbow too. That is nice. Gives me at least one shot with an arrow. Not sure which direction the storm is moving, so I'll have to keep a bit of an eye out. But we should have quite a bit of warning before anything would hit anyway. We are surrounded by mountains, but it's not like we have a horrible view around us. Also a couple cave entrances here that will have to be filled in, covered up. Not sure if I'm going to put basements in every building, but I do at least want a few reinforced shelters placed around here and there. Make it easy to get into shelter if we do get caught in a tornado. Right, that appears to be moving more east than south, so it should be fine. As long as nothing else develops. I don't know how long it will take until we do get hit by a tornado. We're on day 32 right now. But I would not be surprised if we have one impact this little valley here before day 100. If not, I may raise the rates a tiny bit. I don't want to be constantly having to repair stuff, but I also don't want to just not see anything come near us. That is kind of the fun of having the weather mod, is having it come near you. So we'll definitely have to adjust the configs over time to strike a balance between interesting things happening and not just getting destroyed by tornadoes every couple days. I'm thinking if we could have a tornado maybe once every about 50, every 50 in-game days, and by that I mean within this general area, that might be a good rate. There's a lot of particles there. Something glitchy is definitely happening, but since I don't know what's causing it, I'm just going to ignore it and hope it goes away. Build back this a little more, and then we can start planning the machine building up here. I'd also like to actually have the villagers in this area be free roaming if possible. I think it would add a bit more life to the area to see them moving around. And we have another rotation back in there. Luckily the storms today do seem to be moving pretty easterly. Also, probably between streams I'll go into the block configs to change some stuff like steel blocks and probably concrete as well to be actually pretty strong. So I don't think it would make sense for a block of steel to be taken out by anything less than like 300 miles per hour. And that would also give us some more options for our safe rooms. So I know some stuff like dirt and terracotta is just outright immune to it. This would allow us to build out of stuff that can technically be destroyed, but is also safe in pretty much any tornado we'd reasonably come across. Here's another section to try and bring down. I will just go into the shovels about broken depending on how much it takes here. Alright, this area is looking pretty good to be used for building. We'll clean up a couple areas like this here since I have the dot on me. Might as well try and move out these areas a little bit. Also go ahead and take my shield off for now, since it is a bit annoying when you don't need it blocking the view. I know some people will have something like a shielded totem in their offhand all the time, but I'm still not really used to the offhand slot being used for stuff after how many years it's been around, since 2014, I think was when 1.9 released. So, more than 10 years now? Here's that one, at least it's probably touched down with something. I don't know about the others. What do we have in the way of stones here? Not too much at the moment. Right, what wind speed does it take for deep slate compared to stone? Let's compare that to cobble and cobbled deep slate too. Cobblestone is actually stronger than stone. I would not have expected that. Yeah, same for both. Okay, what about deep slate tiles? Because I do like building with them. At 172 and half. 133, so comparable step. Aye, so that is actually pretty nice then. So we could go get some deep slate and make a bit of a darker appearance here. Also, since we had the villagers, I'm going to get a couple emeralds so that I can make a waystone. I have the poles. It's annoying. Could get them from the cleric, but that would take a lot of emeralds that I don't have right now. What I can do is go to Credmar, and then... Okay, that was interesting. Then go to the other village out here and steal its waystone for use down in the mines. Would not be surprised if we just come across ground scouring at some point. With how many tornadoes we have seen so far, it's only inevitable that one of them will be strong enough. Snow biome, interesting. I think tornadoes can pick up snow, which might almost seems like it could be a bit of an oversight, considering something like snowy peaks are pretty much made out of it. So that could definitely cause lag if it were to hit there, so that might be something I'd have to manually add to the blacklist if it proves to be an issue. Floating island. I did not know what mod that would be from. I'm guessing one of the create add-ons. Because it looks like some create stuff up there. Yeah. That will be interesting to check out, but I do not want to try and climb up there at the moment. Is this village not... Is this one of the villages without a waystone? There's another one down there which I think does have one. Alright, I'll do a quick check, but I don't think this village has one. Not that I'm seeing here. So I'll go check the other village then. Wonder what a tornado would do to floating islands like that, or really tall mountains with structures on them. Because I don't think they're affected by terrain at all yet, but I don't know if that's something planned for the future. Certain biomes like mountains will have a lot less tornadoes, or at least weaker tornadoes than something like the plains. So that would make sense realistically. So, waystone right over here, nice. And another village, okay. Is there any blacksmith or anything in this one? No. I think I might just give up on stealing a waystone, unless this one over here has it, because this one's far enough out that I see value in keeping it. I'd actually just take it from that spruce village, though. Because it's pretty much been looted and there's no villagers left, plus it's in a bit of an inconvenient spot. That does have the advantage of being right next to the ocean. Well, cauldrons here. Cauldrons come in use surprisingly often in modern stuff, so I will take them. That looks like another creek structure up there, so that could be something worth checking. Another library here. I don't think I've ever seen the Spruce Village Library before, but it looks really nice. So I'll make my way up over here. Also another Biomes of Plenty tree type over there. Some pretty nice hill generation here. Oh, and portal. Also, that storm appears to be heading right in the direction of my base, so hopefully it is not tornado spawning. Ooh, 2 gold blocks, nice. I will take it. Oh, I thought that was netherite for a second. I was wondering what mod added that. Right. So that's some pretty decent stuff. Okay, so that... Looking at it next to the waypoint, that is south of our base, but it is still pretty close. Bit too close for comfort, honestly. Right, that house is set on an overhang, which actually looks pretty interesting. Because normally when you see stuff like that with generated structures, it looks pretty obviously out of place, but it actually fits in pretty nice there. Okay, I'm wondering if we have some corrupted biome generation, because this biome distribution here looks really weird. As long as we don't have any big terrain seams in the world there, that's fine. Let's see what this house has in store. Mechanical drills. I will happily take those. All of the mechanical stuff like that is a pain to craft. It is made out of blocks of andesite alloys. Are you serious? This house is a treasure trove of stuff. Was a tornado through here? Or did it just not spawn correctly? Because this is obviously not the state it's meant to be in. So I'm wondering if one of those tornadoes passed through here. I will happily take the stuff here. It's a lot of nice stuff. Wow. Okay, we definitely want to come back here and get stuff. And there's our last Enderpearl. Nice. Yeah. I don't have the inventory space right now, but I do want to come back here because there's so much nice stuff here. Unless I can somehow craft a backpack with stuff we have here. And it appears I did not actually have a backpack mod enabled. I thought I did. I guess we do have the ender pouch here, which I could send stuff back to my base with, but it's still not quite the same. I was wondering what that is, but I think it's an applied energistics media. Yeah, this house will definitely be something to come back to. At this point, I just want... Okay, yeah, this is definitely a tornado damage path. I'm looking at the snow here, and I'm thinking it probably pulled it up. Now let's look around and see if we can find another village. So I want to try and just get back by Waystone instead of running back. Okay. And we have confirmation. Because we could see the damage scouring right here. So a tornado tore right through here and took out that building. Which is kind of a shame because I would have liked to see what it was when it was complete. This is heavy scouring too, so this had to have been a pretty strong one. Wonder how recent this was. It probably was one of those by the beginning of the stream, I'd guess. There's the damaged Apotheosis Tower too. It is very quickly turning night, so I'm going to rush over back to this village then. Because my options would be stay at night, go to the village, or try and make another portal home. And of those, the village sounds like the best option. Hello, Fog. Didn't expect to see you here. Yeah, the block strength, I was half expecting a lot of modded stuff to either just not be breakable at all or have some pretty unbalanced block strengths, but it seems to actually be really well integrated, which I am quite glad to see, because that would have been a pain to manually set up config for a few hundred different mod blocks. Of course, I haven't tested everything, so there still could be some stuff that's broken, but of the stuff I've tested, none of it's had any issues. I do wonder, though, if there would be any type of crashing issues if a tornado were to destroy a multi-block or something. Because I know multi-blocks are already not exactly the most stable things in existence. And then add block destruction to it, and I don't know what would happen. I'm thinking, since we found such good stuff in the other create structure, that after I bring stuff back, I'll check out that one up there. It actually looks like clear skies here. For the first time in a while. Oh, I didn't realize you could actually see the iron golems in here. That's cool. That said, though, I think I will end today's stream here and come back in another day or two. So, see you next time on the Weather World or KSP, which I think will probably be the next stream. And bye.